morning, Shabbat Shalom. I did have a good week. I went to camp for 2 days. Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday. It was wonderful to see. I'd never Jewish camped before, so it was really nice. Yeah. It's a very important thing. Yeah, I can see that. I can absolutely see that. Uh-huh. Exactly. Sorry, I'll be right there. I've like this is such a beat like I can spread out as I am spread out. I can majorly spread out today. No, even on my side, it's actually a huge amount of space. But I'm just like all of my things can be out all at the same time. All right. Where do we start? We start on page 120. Can turn on my You know
I'm not the
anything about
tech
that?
person. And if you need
There
help
we
with
go.
Hebrew, that's not my forte.
I believe that is what I need. Great.
Okay, so
I'm
how
double
much
checking.
longer do you have before you're a rabbi?
Until May. Sorry, I'm
A
double-
year from now.
Yeah, sorry, I'm double checking. This is good. Did it change? One camera only, because I don't have tech.
Heather would know.
Great, got it.
Okay.
Great. Just wanted to make sure I was good there. Get started and then we'll light candles, okay? I'm gonna say like, I'm gonna say like 2 or 3 things and then we'll light candles, so you might as well stick up in the area. Or sit, or, just so you weren't all the way in the back. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Ora Jacobson. I'm your rabbinic intern for another month. This summer, I'm so delighted that I'm able to join Rabbi Smiley and learn from her and your community for another few weeks. Rabbi Smiley is at camp this week, and I had the opportunity to go up the last 2 days and visit, and it was my first Jewish camp experience, and ever. I see your face, Richard. But it was delightful. How wonderful it is to have the children of the whole region being able to just be Jewish together. Like, it's a blessing. It's so wonderful. So she is there, and you have me tonight. And we will be only in our books today. We're not going to use the technology for two reasons. One is I would have to learn it, which we can skip. And the other is I really love this siddur. There is so much in it. If you haven't been here and with it before, you have the Hebrew, you have a transliteration, direct translation, but the other side has some readings that are within the same vein and thought pattern of what we're doing. And let your eyes wander in it. Let your eyes linger if something is meaningful. So I'd like to stay in the book today, and I hope you can find some space for yourself in looking at the book instead of on the screen. And I also do want to mention, I know about the law that was passed in the state. I will let Rabbi Smiley speak a little bit more to it because she has a child in the school, but I didn't want to just drop it and not mention how it impacts this community and the state and all of your families. So I'll let Rabbi speak to it a little bit more, but I didn't want to neglect mentioning it today and knowing that that's also on our minds. We will begin this morning with lighting our Shabbat candles on page 121. And Paula, please come on up and join me. And please read O Source on the bottom of page 121 first.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in thee, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Gosh, this is new to me too. Sorry. I was. Oh gosh. Anybody an expert at this? Oh, there's a button thing. Ooh, that is irritating. Then you can write this. It's a learning curve for me too. Oh, we still got it.
It's somewhere that this is the month of binge.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu tzvotav, v'tzivanu, lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Praise be thou, O Lord, our God, King of the universe, who sanctified us by thy commandments and commanded us to kindle the Sabbath light. Bless us all and keep us well. Thank you for this blessed week and all the weeks to come.
Thank you, Paula. Please join me in the reading on page 127. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek to acquire. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared for nothing but the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We welcome the Shabbat bride on page 138 with the Chadodi. La 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 Chadodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad. Hishmiyanu el hamiyuchad. Adonai echad ushmo echad. Leshemu tiferet velitila. Yai dai dai, ya la 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 chadodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 2. Likrat Shabbat. Lechu v'nelcha. Ki makor habaracha. Mirosh mekedem nesuka. Sof ma'aseh machshavat tehila. Yai dai dai, ya la 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 chadodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 5. Hitoreri. Kiva orech. Kumi ori. Uri. Shir daberi. Kevod Adonai, alaych nigla. Yai dai dai, ya la 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 chadodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. We rise and face the door for verse 9. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha uvtzola, toch emuneh am segula, boi kala. Yai dai dai, ya la 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 chadodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Stay standing, because as we are, the Rabbi Smiley taught me, right here is where we greet each other. So please take a moment to say hello to folks that perhaps you didn't come in with, because greeting Shabbat, the Shabbat bride, also means that we create community together. Have a seat. Page 142. We invite our messengers from on high to join us for Shabbat. Boachem, come in peace. Barchuni, bless us in peace. And then Seitchem, go in peace. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The footnote on the bottom of page 143. And so we understand that ordinary people are messengers of the Most High. They go about their tasks in holy anonymity, often even unknown to themselves. Yet if they had not been there, if they had not said what they said or did what they did, it would not be the way it is now. We would not be the way we are now. Never forget that you, too, yourself, may be a messenger, perhaps even one whose errand extends over several lifetimes. Page 144, Hatikadosh, separating this Kabbalat Shabbat, this warm-up before we go into our next section of liturgy. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, B'yoma divrach rotei v'yamlich mahutei, B'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayet kol Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, uv'izman kariv, v'yameru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach, li'alam olal me'olmaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yithaleh, v'yithalal, shmei dekudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shir'ata, tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran Bialma, Vimeru, Amen. The footnote on page 145, with the last reading. Perhaps we can take this with us throughout the rest of the evening. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. We rise for the Baruch Hu on page 146. Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam ba'ed. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam ba'ed. You can have a seat. Now that we're warmed up and we just began official prayer in its own way, everything is prayer. Page 148, Ma'ariv Aravim, our recognition of the sunset. Not yet here, as we're at the sunny time of year, but we recognize the timing of the day with the sun in the morning and in the evening, Ma'ariv Arvim. Please join me in the English. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alerts the time and changes of the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. In page 150. I'd mentioned last week it's part of our love sandwich. We have Ahavat Olam, God's love given to us. In the middle, we have the Shema, declaring God's oneness. And on the other end, the Ve'ahavta, our responsibilities to love God. So we have this nice little sandwich of love that we begin with Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, Uvkumeinu nasiach bechukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, Uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, Uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla. Va'ahavatcha al tasir, mimeinu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. If it is your custom to rise for the Shema, please do so on page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Have a seat. Page 154. Be'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol levavcha u'v'kol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha v'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam u'mezuzot beitecha uv'hisharecha le'man tizkeru v'yasitem et kol mitzvotai V'tem kedoshim leloechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, L'hiyot lachem le'Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. Page 157 at the top. Please join me. Standing on this parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. The Song of the Sea, Mi Chamocha, on page 158. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, norat yehilot, o sefele, norat yehilot, o sefele, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Malchutecha ra'u v'necha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'elianu ve'amru, ze'elianu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Yai-dai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai, yai-da-dam. Yai-dai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dam. Yai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dam. Yai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dam. Thank you for so joyously crossing that sea with me. So we've come through the sea. On page 161, we come to this place of rest, a place of asking for a shelter of peace from God in the nighttime when it might be a little scary to go home at night. I know I don't love driving home in the dark. I imagine the rabbis and our ancient ones having a little anxiety after they had met for their evening prayers to go home together. And so the Talmud tells us that they created this prayer for that expressed reason. So please read the interpretation with me on page 161 at the bottom. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim, ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim, shalom, ve'al Yerushalayim, ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim, shalom. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Page 162. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברידולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברידולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברידולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברידולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברידולם. Thank you. That was just like glorious. My last student pulpit was in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I was there every couple weeks for Shabbat weekend, and this one was a hit. Like, I knew all they needed in their life was Vishamru, and it would just be glorious, and you matched, if not exceeded. So thank you for joining me today. As we're about to enter the Amidah, which is we've kind of gone up this nice little hill here. And we're going to reach the top of our evening service, which is our moment of private prayer with God. We begin the Amidah together, and we'll recite the first three blessings together, and then you'll have some time for yourself to continue on your own and have a seat when you are finished. But first, I want to have a moment for the reading on the bottom of 163. It's one of my favorites. A thought has blown the marketplace away. There's a song on the wind and a joy in the trees. Shabbat arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night. Eternity utters a day. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel wrote this beautiful book called The Sabbath, in which he speaks of sacred time. In most of the world, we think about things, we think about objects we want to collect. And in Judaism, we have this time marked that is set apart, that is holy. Holy, kadosh, actually means set apart. And how beautiful it is for our tradition to actually give us space in that way. It's not something that we can hoard like objects. It's something that we get to sit and experience. And I am grateful for Shabbat every week. And so for the Amidah, we rise and begin together on page 164. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yadi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. 166. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'koneh Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot B'imahot, V'mevi Be'ula Livnei V'nehem, Ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Madin, Baruch atah Adonai, Megei Avraham, Yezrat Sarah, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה ברא ותשיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעול גבורות, ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Page 178. Shalom Rav, abundant peace. Please join me with the melody that I think you know, so please sing along. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. This week in our Torah portion, Baha'alotcha, the Israelites hit a bit of a rough patch in the desert, and misery loves company. First, the Israelites complain about the monotony of eating manna. Then Moses reaches a breaking point, pleading with God, saying that he can no longer carry the Israelites himself. And then Aaron and Miriam complain about Moses' marriage to the Cushite woman. They also compared themselves to Moses, saying, "Has God spoken only through Moses and not through us as well?" God was incensed, and Miriam was stricken with white, scaly skin. Without a beat, Moses responded, "Vayitzak Moshe el Adonai lemor, el na rafan Allah." Moses cried out to Adonai, saying, "God, please heal her, please." This is the shortest prayer in Torah. It's only 5 words. God, please heal her, please. Have you ever been ill and reached out to God? Have you ever bargained with God to restore the health of a loved one? The instinct to reach out to God can be surprising to people who don't have God as part of their daily life. Moreover, for many people, prayer to God for intercession might be theologically incongruent. And yet, many of us have the propensity to reach for miracles in times of uncertainty. El na rafan Allah, God, please heal her, please. Last summer, I completed a chaplaincy internship at a hospital in New Jersey. It was an honor to be with people as they were facing some of the biggest challenges of their lives. My cohort's religious backgrounds were diverse, and as an interfaith chaplain, I visited all types of patients. In addition to guiding us for spiritual conversations, my educator explicitly told us to never promise anyone anything. We can't promise somebody that they're going to be able to walk again. We can't promise somebody that their cancer won't ever return. In fact, false promises can cause spiritual injury. It's common for people to fully reject God and religion if they feel as though their fervent prayers were unanswered. Even with the chaplain badge visibly marking us as divine messengers in some way, we did not have the power to change the natural world or do so on God's behalf. And, like Moses' plea to God, El na rafan Allah, Miriam didn't suddenly return to health. She was sent outside the camp for 7 days, only then to return to her community. During prayer services, we offer a Mishaberach L'Cholim, a prayer for healing for those in our lives in need of a healing blessing. The synagogue keeps a list of names that the community is thinking of, which we do read out loud, and afterward we ask anyone in the room to add any names that may have been missed. We ask for a refuah shlema, for our loved ones to feel a sense of wholeness and peace. When we pause for the Mishaberach and list the names, I don't personally believe, this is my own theology, I don't personally believe that saying the prayer will literally heal my friend's foot. I do believe, though, that by listing names and praying for the well-being of others, our liturgy reminds us about the people we love, urging us to call, to visit, or to check in. A few of my experiences last summer surprised me along the way. When I spoke to patients in the hospital about their support systems, those who actively belonged to spiritual communities counted them among their list of people that they could rely on. There were many patients, too, who told me that their connection with a spiritual community had lapsed. This was often due to COVID moving things online and them never actually returning to a building, and other lifestyle changes, or they might have even moved and not returned or joined a new church upon their new home. I was especially struck when some of the people who I spoke with that had the lapsed relationships with their religion took time to think about what might be missing. Upon a second visit, Many of them told me that they were considering joining a church or mosque or synagogue again. In their illness and in our conversation, they remembered the significance that a community bound by religious values, common goals, a connection to God, and a responsibility to one another can do. They were looking for support, not miraculous healing. The Torah reads that Miriam was shut out of camp for 7 days, and the people did not march until Miriam was readmitted. Moses and Aaron stayed. The whole community stayed. They did not leave Miriam behind. My time as a hospital chaplain taught me how simple presence is a source of healing. Being present does not require any special skill. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It's the not doing, not fixing, just being, and loving. The Israelites' care for Miriam and the Mishaberach liturgy, both of those things are a reminder of the sacred gift of presence that we can offer others. May that be an inspiration to us to care for one another in this holy community and beyond. And we continue with the Mishaberach as we name the following people that the community is thinking of today. Joy Lewis, Mina Batyentel, Mordechai Ben Dina, Anna Carlo, Judy Roheim, Fredo Tamara Bat Liba Baila, Menucha Pesach Bat Sharonay Umoshe, Gretchen Haynes, Ruby Smolinski, Jennifer Casson, Storm Matthews, Terry Stern, Judith Bon Bretnall, Kaylee Barron, Zazel Batyentel, David Berman, Harvey Schwartzberg, Maxine Cohn, David Leek, Barbara Stockner, Janet Gurwitch, Danielle Riker, John Buddy Ben Margarita, Laura Swire, Susan Wasserman, Nevin Rose, Cindy DeMarco, Sheldon Rosen, James Stockner, Vicki Jenkins, Steve Ginsberg, Yitzchak Dov Ben Chana, Joel Ben Mildred, Devorah Bat Yaakov, Chaim Vabela, Paula Vineanu, Susan Jacobson, and are there others in the room that would like to lift up a name aloud? Please do so. Thank you.
Carol Schneider and Robert Flicker.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please join me in page 300 and, as I've lost the page. Thank you, 370. Thank you. 371 from Mishaberach, in the middle of the page. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu, mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May God send them a swift refuah shlema, a sense of wholeness and peace. And also, when we're in this place of thinking about people who are in need of our love, I'm also wondering if there's some simchas to celebrate. It's also a joy to kind of lift up the good things that are in our lives. I will begin in saying that my simcha of the week was I went to camp. that is a happy thing. That is a Shehechianu moment for me because it was the first time I was able to do that. If other people have something joyous to say, please tell us and let us be celebratory with you. Anyone? I'm pointing to you because you had a trip, but you don't have to.
I got to celebrate my 75th birthday with
Right.
My college buddies, and even
Amazing.
more than that, I got to have lunch with one of my closest friends growing up, who I hadn't seen in 61 years. Shortly after his bar mitzvah, he moved,
Wow.
and we had lunch, and it was like we picked up right where we left off, 1963.
What a blessing. Other simchas, happy events, Shehechianu moments.
I'm here visiting family and I'm getting to come here as well.
I'm so glad you're here. Shabbat shalom. Paula.
I got one of the final Jeopardy answers again.
Yes.
I just figured it out. It was alliterative something or other. It was affirmative action.
Yes. Yes. When sometimes at school we have a Simcha Thursday, like once a month. It's like, okay, we take a moment for Simchas, and even the simple "I went to bed early this week" is a Simcha because not every time we can take care of our bodies. So really, any Simcha is allowed. If there's any more to share. Yeah. All right. We'll continue with Aleinu on page 586. If there are any younger folks in the room that would like to help me open the ark, and when you open the ark, then you get to take a piece of candy, please help me. 586. And we rise as the ark is opened. Thank you for your help. Alleluia, Shabbat Adon Hako, Atikinu Lalot Separation, Shalo Asanu Kagir Haratzot, Velo Samanu Kmishpachat Adama, Shalo Sam Chelkinu Kahem, Vegor Aleinu Kecho Hamonam, Va'anachnu Korim, Umishkachamim Ilmodim, Lifnei Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, 588. Shehu noteh shamayim v'yosir haaretz, u'Moshe niparo v'shamayim nima'al, v'shchinatu zo, v'gam he'merohim, u'Eloheinu echad, emet malkeinu efesulato, kakatu b'torato, yadat hayom, v'hashivota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, ha'shamayim nima'al, ve'al ha'aretz mitachat, ein od. 591 at the top. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Love to each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with joy, of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'nemar v'chaya Adonai, l'melech al kol ha'aretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. Thank you for your help. Take a piece of candy. And you all can sit. On page 598, we find the words of Mourner's Kaddish, Kaddish Yatom. It is a prayer that honors grief. It is a time in our service and every time that we gather together with a group of Jews to support us, we honor grief with Mourner's Kaddish. And this community is still mourning the recent passing in the period of Shloshim of Arlette Goldstein. And I apologize if I mispronounce. This is my first time getting to know your community. And during Shana, it's the first year since the following people we've lost: Dr. John Roheim, Barry Burton, Shirley Judge, Betty Simmons, Lee Kaplan, Joanne Bender, Leonard Nachman, Rowan Hausman, Maureen Corcoran, Lucy Silva, Larry Zakim, Richard Price Marcus, Edie Goldman, Eleanor Mackey, Faye Roos, Joseph H. Scheiber, Elaine Rose Kaplan, James Cocker, Harry Rubenstein Sashi, Chuck Schwing, Carol K. Kane, and we are also remembering the anniversary of the death of the following people: Arnold Dunham, Etta Kaplan Epstein, Ruth Fader, Aaron Harris, Annalie Jaffe, Ronald Kronick, Anna Lipsy, Ruth Ann Joyce Miller, Ellie Murov, Lena Kaplan Mykov, Carolee Roheim, Charles Norman Rubin, Lorraine Beverly Scavler, Ryan William Smith, Emmanuel Teller, Rebecca Dalmer Watsky, Jacob Wichner. Is there anyone else observing yahrzeit or mourning a loved one that would like to say their name aloud if I'd missed their names? Thank you. Thank you.
Ed Lawrence,
Thank you.
Pauline Jackson, and Gary Black.
Thank you. Anyone else? We stand together as one and say Mourner's Kaddish together. Please join me on page 598. Yit Gadal, V'yit Gadash, Shemei Rabbah, Ve'oma Divra Cherote V'yamlich Malchute, V'chayachon U'vyomachon, U'chayei Tekol Beit Yisrael, V'agala U'vizman Kariv V'imru Amen, Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach, Le'olam O'omei Omaya, Yit Barach V'yishtabach, V'yit Pa'ar, V'yit Ramam, V'yit Naseh, V'yit Hadar, V'yit Haleh, V'yit Halal, Shemei Dekudesha B'richu, Le'ila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say amen. Say shalom b'mrama, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ya'aseh shalom. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. You can have a seat. And I have announcements. Julie, are you around? Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us tonight for services. Tomorrow morning, there will be Torah study in the Lifelong Learning Center in person only this week at 9:30 a.m., Minyan in the library at 10 a.m., services in the sanctuary and on YouTube at 10:30 a.m. Tomorrow night, there will be a Havdalah service on Zoom hosted by the Saxe family at 6 p.m. The next meeting of the Jewish Book Club will be June 30th at 1 p.m. For more details about these events and more, please go to our website or refer to the weekly announcements. Shabbat Shalom.
Are you an announcer of some sort? That just sounded great. Sorry, I'm just meeting y'all. Sounded great. Kiddush can be found on page 123. And Paula, will you help me with the Kiddush, please? (123), and once Paula comes over and raises the glass, we'll all stand up. You gotta hold it high. Nope. Saving people's knees. I don't know. All right, page 123, please stand. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'aha uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila lamikrae kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'harta v'otanu kidashta mikol hamim b'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chayim. Amen. All right. And Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom.